Hello, good evening. You're watching Eye on Africa. I'm Cyril Vanier, and this evening the shockwave of the Brussels attacks are being felt around the world. We'll be getting you emotional reactions from the streets of Kinshasa, where people have kept a very strong emotional tie to the former colonial power. 19 people have been arrested in Mali in connection with yesterday's attack by Al-Qaeda gunmen on the Azalai Hotel in the capital. And presidential elections in two countries, Niger and Congo Brazzaville. Both incumbents are re-elected. Mahamadou Issoufou and Denis Sassou Nguesso will stay in power, despite the opposition in both those countries rejecting the results. The heart of the European capital was struck today. 2 bombs went off at Brussels airport and a third one was detonated in the subway. Attacks claimed by the Islamic State group that killed at least 34 people and injured 200. Belgium has declared 3 days of national mourning, and emotional reactions have been coming in from around the world, including in Africa, in Belgium's former colony, the Democratic Republic of Congo. As France 24's Thomas Nicolon explains, many in the DRC still feel a deep emotional tie to Brussels.
Congolese people have been very moved about what happened in Brussels today. They have been following the situation closely the whole day. Many of them have relatives in the Belgian capital city. The countries have a common history, a long history. The Belgian presence in Congo dates back to 1885. Congo finally got its independence in 1960. And this history, this common history, has been very painful at times. But today it all seems to be part of the past.
You know, Belgium is Congo. A lot of Congolese people live there, and it really hurts what the terrorists are doing.
It happened in a country where I have a lot of family, and unlike other times when there was an attack and it was far away, this time it was like they attacked our own family.
Belgium is a country which we have adopted. We have loved this country. It has given us a lot. Education, offers jobs. So we are really affected by what happened today in Brussels.
Tonight, I was supposed to take the plane to Brussels. But with what happened, the airport has been closed, and I couldn't go because of the violence.
Many airlines travel from Kinshasa to Brussels daily. A lot of Congolese people had a plane ticket, but they will have to wait. They still don't know when they will be able to get back to their family because Brussels airport is closed at this time, and it will be closed tomorrow as well. It might be a long wait, but one thing is certain: in this time, Congo stands with Belgium.
And at least one Congolese citizen was actually at the airport when the bomb went off. Former NBA star Dikembe Mutombo, who was in transit from Kinshasa when the explosion occurred. He was unharmed but visibly shaken when he described scenes of panic and expressed sadness for those who lost loved ones in the attack. Speaking after a crisis meeting here in Paris, the French Prime Minister said that Europe, not just Belgium, was at war. Manuel Valls was also quick to draw a parallel between jihadist attacks here and those in Africa.
The Islamic State group and Al-Qaeda's branches, who are engaged in a terrorist rivalry, have in common a hatred of democracy. That's why they strike us on our soil. That's why they strike Europe today in Belgium, Tunisia, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, and again yesterday night in Mali.
And in Mali, the investigation is underway after yesterday's attack by Al-Qaeda gunmen in the capital. They opened fire on a hotel used by European soldiers. Only the assailant was killed. 19 people have since been arrested. Nicolas Germain brings us the latest on the investigation.
Malian security forces are deployed in front of the Nord-Sud Hotel. The building had been converted into the headquarters of an EU military training operation. On Tuesday, the head of the police gave details about the investigation.
We have arrested 19 people. No one has claimed responsibility for this attack. But we strongly suspect the groups that target the Sahel region and threaten the whole world.
On Monday evening, one attacker was killed. The building is close to the Radisson Blu hotel that was targeted in November. That attack was carried out by Al-Qaeda with Mokhtar al-Mokhtar's group. 20 people were killed. Monday evening, Malian and UN forces arrived swiftly on the scene, but residents are worried.
We're stunned. The areas all around here are ultra-secure. There's security everywhere. So imagine having an attack like this here. Imagine what would have happened if they'd done it against everyday citizens.
No one is safe, but the security services must keep doing their jobs. This is the only way out of this crisis for us.
In recent months, jihadist groups have struck Mali several times, but also two of its neighboring countries, Burkina Faso and Ivory Coast.
And yet another investigation, this time in Ivory Coast, following last week's attack on a beach, also carried out by Al-Qaeda. 15 people have been arrested, but investigators say that they're still looking for the suspected ringleader, a man they have named as Kunta Dalla. Here's a picture of him. No further information was given on those who have been arrested, in particular their nationalities. The suspense is over in Congo-Brazzaville following Sunday's presidential election. Incumbent President Denis Sassou Nguesso wins an outright majority in the first round of voting, 67% according to provisional results. His rivals have denounced a rigged election, and the capital remains tense, with all communications in the country cut off since Sunday. Sassou Nguesso has been in power for 19 years and is accused by his critics of corruption and nepotism. Another contested election, another incumbent re-elected, this one in Niger. According to official results, Mahamadou Issoufou won a landslide victory with 92% of the vote this time. The opposition, however, does not recognize these results. Their candidate spent most of the campaign in jail. The opposition claims that turnout was only 11%. Proof, they say, that voters answered their call to boycott the poll. Official numbers, however, put the turnout at almost 60%. And the president is now calling on all Nigerians to unite.
All the people of Niger to unite so that we can create a broad movement whose sole objective will be Niger's rebirth, peace and prosperity.
Supporters of Jean-Pierre Bemba reacted angrily to the guilty verdict at The Hague against the Democratic Republic of Congo's former vice president. The International Criminal Court found Bemba guilty of war crimes and crimes against humanity for acts committed by his militia in the Central African Republic in the early 2000s. Here's what some in Kinshasa had to say when they found out about the verdict.
We are very disappointed with this international injustice. We deplore the fact that the International Criminal Court is an institution in the hands of politicians.
We really supported him. I supported him, but he betrayed us. He just wanted to have money, to let others into power. So whether we arrest him or free him, it's not my problem.
Jean-Pierre Bemba is innocent. He just sent his soldiers into Central Africa. But they were under the control of the Central African Army and its leaders. So why did they condemn him?
Well, that's it for Africa's news. Mark Owen is back with more news at the top of the hour. Stay tuned to France 24.